those projectors, all of that stuff, fine and dandy. But this is what you don't see. So what's popping? We are here for another update, but first we're going to get into retro headlights behind the curtain. A lot of shit that you all don't see. Everything on the front's pretty, colors, blue ghost, all the sequencing, everything you see on the car looks good. But what about the shit behind that you have to deal with? So I'm going to show you a little bit on a set of headlights that I did have done. The tail lights, haven't seen those yet. Don't know what the hell's going on with them yet, but I guess eventually we'll see it or we won't. But I'm moving on from that anyway. But this way you all know what to expect, and it might be a better situation or a worse situation depending on your builder, how experienced they are, how much integrity they have, and about what they do. And then after we get into the headlights, we'll move into an update on the car build. So these are the headlights. Of course, these are JDM DC2 headlights. You probably won't see a lot of people retroing these because of the price for these headlights. You already know for one used JDM headlight, you can end up paying close to $1,000 just for one, $2,000 for two, maybe even $3,000 depending on the condition of them. Every now and then you could come across some for about, I don't know, $1,600, $1,000 bucks, but you're going to be missing some things like this. So we did have everything done, or I had everything done, custom wolf in there as far as the logo, halos, projectors, all of that stuff. Fine and dandy, but this is what you don't see before on all the videos. They're not showing you this shit. This is what they're not showing you on the videos. All the potting that goes on here when they start drilling in here to run all these cables and the wires and the power cables, all the little shit like this that you don't see when they just put shit like this on here to cover things up and cut it and do all that. You got a fan behind here for one of the high beams and your controller, and then here we go for another potting situation where they potted up the corner light, which would be a three-prong post here, and then you'll have wires running out of there, and then you could just find a way to stuff that back in there later. But that's it. Then you come to the other one, you're gonna have a similar situation. You're gonna have more potting all through here. You're gonna have a bunch of wires coming out of here, and you're gonna have to find out where you're gonna put all of that crap. Now, some of you are gonna have a back panel plate where you can hide all of that, and that's cool. Some of you are not gonna have the right amount of space in order to hide that right, so you might have some bulging. But legitimately, you should have somewhere to kind of run that depending. So you'll see how they ran this here. That's kind of short. So the only option you would have with this box sticking out is to leave this shit hanging or try to get some motion out of here if you could, and then you got to put it up here, which that's not going to work. Mounting area on the Integra. All right, it's raining outside, so you're going to hear raindrops in the background. Or you're going to have to try to flip it and possibly glue it here if you could. So a lot of these retro headlight projects you see, wonder why you don't see this side of the project on all the Instagram posts. Well, that's because if you see this shit, you might not want to do it. Now, I'm not saying that every builder, this is going to be your end result, but what I am saying is I've had a set of headlights done and I've had a set of taillights done. And by the way, hoodies are on the website because people have been asking. And I can tell you, between the headlight situation and the taillight situation, none of them have been a great, enjoyable situation. All of them have had some type of hang up, some type of fuck up, some type of delay on parts, some type of back order on ghost, some type of situation where the builder messed up and now they got to try to find a way to talk to me to see how can we balance it out and find other head units or find other tail lights. None of this shit's been a good situation, I can tell you that right now. So I am not pro retroing headlights or tail lights to this degree with all that in there. I am pro refurbishing and adding some new technology to it a bit. And that's what you're gonna have on the new headlights and tail lights for the build going forward. So you've already seen the new headlights. We just did an upgrade on LED bulbs. You saw that, we did the tinting, we did the inside of the bezel, but everything on the back end of those tail lights is OEM stock location where the JDM uni plug is supposed to go. The 9006 bulb goes here, which that shit's been completely fucking ruined. And then our 3-prong 1157 bulb goes here, which I changed out to match USDM. And I did show you all how to modify a USDM socket to go in here without modifying your JDM bucket, which is what you don't want to do. You don't want to have to modify your JDM buckets. If anything, you want to modify the socket to mate to the JDM bucket and keep your JDM buckets as good as you can. I do have 3 sets of JDM DC2 headlights. I have this set right here. I have the set that's going on the car, and I have a set that's in holding in case the car ever has an incident or something's done. That way I can just have parts to switch over. So that's what a lot of us are going to find ourselves doing with these cars, is they're creeping up to 25 years plus, becoming antiques. Manufacturers are not making parts OEM for these cars. These cars are not like Impalas and Bel Airs, where we have several manufacturers that have taken on the task of generating and manufacturing body panels and parts for those cars. You can go buy brand new parts for those cars, OEM spec. We don't have that same situation with us in the JDM car world as of yet, especially when it comes to the Japanese spec cars that were never released here in a certain configuration. Supposedly Honda is considering taking a group of these classic cars, and they are considering manufacturing new parts for them. I don't know, I haven't seen the certified or the official list of which cars they're going to do, but I would hope you probably would have cars like the NSX, the Civic, definitely the Integras, the DC series Integras, and it would be cool in the S2000 if the S2000s are at a year right now where it's harder to find parts. But if they just do that group of cars, it services a lot of us that are building these cars still, or trying to refurbish these cars. So yeah, think about all of the retro shit. I know it looks pretty. I know the LEDs and the colors and the starburst, and you can write shit on your headlights is a cool thing, but just think about it before you do it, and make sure they explain all the nuances that come with it. I mean, look at this shit. Look at that shit. This is the shit I'm talking about. So hey, there's my advice. You do what the hell you want to do, but don't say I didn't tell you or nobody warned you before you start doing that shit, all right? And make sure you fact check your builders. If you have a builder on Instagram, reach out to people that might be in their posts and ask them if they ever had a job done by that builder, and if they would mind showing or sharing some photos of their work with you before you lock in your deposit with that builder. Because you might find people might tell you don't fuck with them, because there's always some good situations and there's some bad situations, but you're trying to find out which one is the larger situation of bad and good. If it's more bad than good, you definitely want to be there. If it's more good than bad, you want to weigh your options. If it's far more good and just a tad bit of bad, that's almost a realistic situation, because nothing can be perfect. All right, so that's it for this video. Catch you on the update video for the Integra. That will be coming out soon, as well as other videos. Don't forget, get your hoodies on the website. Catch me on the Instagram. If you got questions about your Integra or what I'm doing on my Integra and how it might help you, ask. Don't ask me for my fucking paint code. I'm not giving you that shit. You can ask me any question, man. I'm not giving the paint code. I've already told several people I'm not giving them the shit. If you want the old paint code, send me 60 bucks. I'll give you the old paint code and delay. If you want this paint code, the best I can tell you is come see me at a show and you can just eyeball it and try to find you a color that's close. But don't ask me for that shit, because I'm not giving. I spent way too much money, time, and how we laid it, how we mixed it, and all of that shit just to say, here you go. It's not gatekeeping. It's just saying I worked hard to get my shit different, and I want to keep my shit different, and you work hard to get your shit different. I'm not going to ask you for your shit. All right, peace.
You kind of like Face at the end of the flick. The world was yours and you died on the shit. Wolfpack gang all over this bitch. Taking over YouTube, running that shit.